So once we know, sorry, once we know the size of the circles, for the next things, if you want to compare this one, this is a little bit abstract. So probably we right now we have the data list, and it is from probably point 1 to maybe 500 and 10 and 1, 5, etc. So right now the things we are going to do is to do the mapping between the different type of media. So we are going to map this one, remap the number to the color. So this one probably will be the red color, and that one will be the blue color. Okay, something like that. So how can we do that? How can we finish this operation? In order to do that, we have to make this one become a region, become a domain again. Just like the things we have done before, if you remember, we're using a bound and we're using domain and we construct a domain for that. So basically for this one, it's pretty much the same. We're using a bound to create a domain and deconstruct that to extract the minimum number and the maximum number. So let's go to here, flatten, and you can double click on empty area, just go to find bound. This one, maxima and minima. With this component, it can help you to make the series number become a domain. Then we have to using the construction domain to extract the minimum number and maximum number from here. So let's go to here. Domain, deconstruct domain. Sorry, this one. So now we can know which one is the minimum number inside this data list, and which one is the maximum number inside this data list. Let me delete. So once you finish the bound to create a new digital domain and using the construct domain to extract the minimum number and the maximum number, the last things we have to do is to create the gradient color panel. So now we already have the number list, and also we know the maximum and the minimum number. So the next things we have to do is to find the gradient color. Let's go to here. You can just double click on empty area. Go to find gradient. This one. So you will see that there are three different input points. The first one, L0, that will be the minimum number right here. L1, that will be the maximum number. So just follow the sequence and order, connect them together. Minimum number to L0, maximum number to L1. And how about the target? This one is about the things that you are going to map. So which means if you want to do the boundary surface, then you can just directly connect the boundary surface to here. So finally, this one is not a material yet. It's just a color data. So just connect the color data to material setting under in the diffuse input point. So now you will see that the color has the transition. If you want to have a probably more close or smooth color, you can just drag them to the different point and adjust the transition. Or if you want to have the different set, okay, probably I want to have different setting right here. Preset. I want to make them become black and white, then you can do that by yourself. I want to make them become probably red to blue, then you can do that by yourself. And you can drag the dots and change the color setting right here. Okay, and if you increase the number, I think I have to increase the number here. If you increase the number of the circle, it will also have it will also change the result. So anyway, that's the things you can try to play with. Five, I think. How much I forget. Okay. So please try to play around with this one and finish the final render part. And also, don't forget to organize your screen. The last part is right here. Just select all friend, make a group, and don't and call this one probably rendering. Okay, just like this. Hmm? The full image. This one. 好，同学，我们把这个东西给结束掉哦，这边已经差不多做完了哦。Alright guys, let's finish this practice, okay? So for the next class, we are going to do another part about the rain. The idea is pretty much the same, so nothing special. And also since we have already finished the rendering part, so we still can using that. For the core sound capture part, we will still using the same one. So we don't have to redo everything, we just have to make the new geometries. So that will be the next part of the class. Let's take a look about this one. So let's try to organize a little bit. So first thing, I want to turn off something that we don't have to see. So first one, this is the last one. That's about the final review. Final preview. So for sure, this one must be here. So it must be turned on. About the flatten, you can turn off. You can turn off the preview. Area, if you don't want to see the center, you can turn off that. Boundary, you can turn off. Basically, all the things before this one, you can turn off them. Okay, so that's the idea. So even for the rotations, the kind of things, you can turn off the preview. And some of them, something like this kind of formula multiplications, it won't be seen on the screen, so it doesn't matter. So once you clean up the screen, now if you go to the render view, I think it will be better than before because much more clean and better for rendering. So that's the thing. Okay, so that's the things you can try to do. So clean up everything. And I think for now, the emission and also the specular doesn't have much effect on that. But since right now we already have the color, okay, we already have the color gradient setting, so you can play around with that one. You can just connect this one to here. Or if you want, you can just using the same way, copy and right click, change another color setting, connect this one to emission. So it will have a different let's say emission color, but it's not necessary. So just up to you. Okay, I will delete this one. Anyway, just let you know for this input point, you can just input color information inside so that it will based on the color information to glow in a different type of color light and also make a different specular on the model. So that's it. That's all about the practice for the first part. So now it's around 10:28. If you have already finished this scene and you have no problem, then we don't forget to save your file. For the next class, we are going to do this part, okay? The rain. So let's take a rest until 10:50. So for the rain part, first things we have to do is to create the cloud. Cloud is very simple. Let's just choosing sphere. Go to here, go to the left side panel, choosing the sphere, and just draw. So this is one sphere, and for sure we can have more. You can just scale down, copy, scale down, something like that. All right. So just based on your design, and you can choose the things you want. Once you finish, just choosing these four, you can use in Boolean union, connect them together. Let's do one more time. Probably let's rotate, rotate. Okay. Just make this one looks like a rain. That's your target. Once you finish, join them together. Boolean union. So let's assume this is the cloud that I'm going to use. Okay, this is a cloud that I'm going to use. Let's go to the layer. I want to create a layer for putting the cloud. So you can just go to here, go to the layer management, click the new layer, call this one cloud, and put your model inside. Just select the model, right click on the layer, choosing change object layer. Next part, please change the material. For this one, you can choose in customs and change the transparency. Once you finish, just remember go to the render view to take a look about the result. Make sure this one looks okay. I think it's a little bit too dark. Doesn't look good. So yeah, you can define by yourself. Probably also make some self illumination or something. So anyway, just make this one looks like a cloud. Okay. So let's give you probably around 5 minutes to do this operation. And if you need, then you can probably duplicate more, maybe two, uh, two cloud or three cloud, up to you. Okay, something like that. I will choose in two. This is the cloud I have. So once you finish the model of cloud, no matter how it looks like, now we are going to use them in Rhino Grasshopper. So first things, if you remember, inside Rhino Grasshopper, we can just directly making geometry inside Grasshopper, or we can using references to do that. So for this time, we're going to using the second way. Let's go to the first one, parameters, and find the container for putting curve. This one, curve. This one. Right now it's in orange color. It means there is no curve inside. So right click, choosing set multiple curve. So surface way, you can choose in the curve on the model. Sorry, I have to go back to the shading mode. So probably since right now we're going to make the rain, so I want to choose in some curve on the bottom side of the cloud. So maybe this one, that one, this one as well. Okay. And for this part, you can do the same thing. So let's choose in the curve. Okay. So once you finish the selection, press enter. So now the curve container will become gray color, light gray color. So it means right now it has been put into this container. If you select, the curve you just selected will become green color right here. Okay, it will become green color. So the next thing we want to do is to using divide to divide the curve. So you can just simply double click on empty area, go to find divide divide curve, this one. Connect them together. So now you will see that your curve uh, has been divided into multiple points. So you can control the number that you want to have. Probably for me, every curve, let's suppose there are 5 points on every curve, it will be fine. So let's just double click, or we can just copy this one. Copy to here. So just 5 or 4, it will be fine. Okay. So that's the things I need you guys to do for me. Please help me to finish this one. This part is pretty simple, so actually I think we can finish earlier. So once we have the points, the next things we have to do is to move them down. So just like the things we have done before, you can just directly copy the move component here to the new street. Or you can just find them again, go to find move, this one. So choosing the geometry, and also we need to give them a vector. So for this time, the vector will be the same. We're still using the unit z vector. We are going to move them down. So just choosing move unit z, and we can define a number. So for example, let's copy the slider and see, we cannot see that. Why is that? If we turn into wireframe, probably we'll find out all the points has been moved up. So in this case, we have to move them down. Yeah, we can just simply probably change the volume. Right now, it's just a temporary solution, so it doesn't matter. Minus 100 or something. Commit change. So now you can see the points. Okay, just move them down. And another thing, let's go back to here. So another thing is that we can just change them to connect 2 points and make them become lines. So let's go to find line, this one. So the first part will be here. Sorry, probably I should, okay, let's just do it. The first point will be this one. The second point will be that one. So now we have the points. We have the line. So now it looks a little bit similar to rain, but it's not dynamic, it's not interactive. So for the next part we are going to do will be make this rain be interactive. Alright guys, let's keep moving forward. So for the next part we are going to do, it will be a little bit different from my case. Because for the case that I show you, it will be a relative easier version. So I think this one, since right now we already have done the mapping thing and that kind of recording stuff, so we can just directly using that. So it will be a better idea. For the following things, we can just directly copy this part. Okay? We don't need the series, but we need these things. Okay? For this one, it's pretty much the same, but the only difference is that I'm using random and also multiplication to control the size of the range. But for this one, I think it will be better because we're using remap and force all the number be mapped to certain range. So this solution, it will be better than the example solution. So we can just directly copy that. You can just copy, Control C and Control V, copy them. Okay. So now we have this one. And the only problem is that we still have to using multiplication and reverse the number right here. But we can do that later, okay? We can do that later. So let's delete the original factor on the unit z. We don't need that anymore. And we can just directly input the r to here. Right now there is no data inside. Let's take a look. Okay, it's not moving. All right. Wait for a second. Okay. So next things we have to do, first thing to make this one become a minus number. So let's using math, multiplications, connect them together. And for the B part, we need to have a minus one. So double click. Let's do that again. Multiplications. Double click. Then go to find probably minus 10 or something. Ah, sorry. No, not good. All right. Anyway, let's copy one more and change the value, the minimum number to minus 10. Okay. So reverse the number here. The point of the multiplication is to reverse the number to minus, so to negative part, so that your range can be moved down. So the next things we can do, first thing for sure, if you want your range can be longer, then you can enlarge the domain and make this one bigger. And also for the reactor, right now we're using, recorder. We are using a different recorder. This is a recorder for the range. So since right now the range only has, every curve only has 4 points, so we don't need so many data. Let's just change the record limit to 4. I think it will be better. And if you want the start number can be longer, then you can change that as well. So now let's see. All right, so now this one will move, follow your voice, something like that. So that's the idea. Using the record and change the record limitation to 4 numbers. And then for the rest part, pretty much the same. The only difference is that you have to use in multiplication to make all the number become negative number, minus number, so that your point can be moved down. Then the range will look like this. So that's the idea. And if you want to change the length of the range, you can just change right here. By change the maximum number to maybe 30, something like that. So this one can be longer. And if you want to initial the minimum length can be longer, you can change that as well. So that's it. I will stop right here and give you some time to finish. Just take a look. This is the result for now. Make the range down. And for this one, it's just about the recorder and put them into a certain range. Okay, so for the rest part, pretty much the same. All right, guys, let's keep moving forward. Let's try to finish everything, okay? So right now we already, I will remove my note. Right now we already have the script to create the range lines. So once we activate the code, you can see that based on my voice value, the following range will getting longer or shorter. So that's the core idea about the setting of range. But right now we still cannot using this one in the rendering. So which means, yeah, we can use this one for banking rendering, but if you switch to render mode, it still looks like simple lines. So rather than that, I want to make this one become solid. surface. So which means we are going to generate the RAM become surface. There's a problem. I'm sorry, there are a couple different ways for making that. One way is that you can just simply using surface and using pipe to do that. So for example, if you connect this one to here, make them become pipe, yeah, you can do that. But this one, I would say it will hugely slowing down your computer because the pipe is a 3D curve. So every time, every second when you are going to computing the generation of the pipe, it will take more time. So rather than that, I don't want to use, I don't want you guys using pipe to do that. We can just using the same idea, using move. Again, this time we're going to move the lines, but also the moving direction, I'm going to use, you can use in Y or using X. So let's go to vector. I will using X, uni X. So just move these curve, just move these line to probably X direction for 1 unit or even smaller. Probably we can make this one smaller. I would make this one smaller. So just copy a slider to here. I want to change the slide type to floating point. And just move them very slow number. Probably zero point 0.2 or zero point 0.3, it will be enough. Just like this. Okay, move them. So once we have that, it means that we can use in some technique like loft. If you remember the command loft, that's the command that we can connect the two lines together and make them become a surface. And inside Rhino6, we also have the same thing. It called row surface. Okay, row surface. So let's just call our row surface right here. I think it is okay. Now this one switch to okay loft. Yeah, you can use loft as well, or you can using no, not that good. It's using row surface. Row surface, it will be better. So connect the first curve and second curve. So now we have successfully using row surface create a surface between these two. So let's do things. Row surface is right here. Wait for a second. I have to find how it looks like. Row surface. No, not this one. Where is that? Row surface. This one. No, this one. Row surface. So basically, the idea is that you just move. We already have the lines, and we move them to probably left or right side. Create one more, and finally using row surface to create the surface between them. So this one, sorry. This one is the original line, and this one is the new moving line. And finally, using row surface to create the surface in the middle. That's the things.你是说取消连接吗？你就按滑鼠键选择 disconnect，然后就可以把它取消。如果你不习惯，就直接删掉再贴一次也可以。你就 Ctrl C Ctrl V，然后你把旧的删掉，这样就可以。 就是标准做法是这样了，按滑鼠右键选择取消连接，可以吗？OK。Okay, I think it's pretty much done. So for the next part, basically it's just about repeat the things we have done before. You can just completely copy the things we have right here if you want to have a totally different color, or they can also you can using the same one. You can just let make them share the same color. Up to you. Okay, it's totally up to you. You can just using the same color, or you can choose using a different color. So for this time, probably I will using a different color to do that. So we can complete. Let's keep moving forward, okay? So now we already finished the RAM part. So probably before we go to the next stage, let's try to make some notation on that. So for this part, including the row surface, move, line, and unit x vector, this is about to create the thickness of the curve of the ring. So let's Control G, make them become a group, and you can use in Scribble, right here, Scribble to make note. So this is about the thick of ring. Thick of the ring, right? And how about this part? This is about the move of the points. So let's make a group right here. And this is the core part about some interactions. Okay, so with these three, basically you have successfully created an interactive RAM from the cloud. So the whole thing, let's call that cloud and RAM. So that's the last one. I think I want to make this one bigger. Cloud and RAM. Okay, so this is the final part. So the next things we are going to do, we are going to do the rendering of the RAM. So we can just completely using the same idea here. Copy the render here, Control C and Control V. But you have to remember how to replace the scenes, how to replace the input point. The row surface connect to the area, the row surface connect to the target, and for sure the row surface connect to the geometry. So now we have the RAM. Okay, I will put them right here, show you the result. The row surface is the final geometry we want to use. So make sure it connected to the area. It will help us to analyze the size of the surface. And also, in order to make them can be mapped to the color, so we need to connect this one, the row surface, to the target of the gradient color. And the final thing, the render engines, the render core will be the custom preview. So you have to put the surface to the geometry. So this is the three input point. The first one, area. Second one, gradient color. Final one, custom preview. So once you connect them, you're supposed to see the color on your RAM. All right, let's give you some time to finish these operations. All right, guys, let's finish this practice. So basically right now you guys have already finished the whole script of the final project. You can just save this one using that for preparing your final. And there are a couple of things we can do before we shut down this file. So first things, just like what we mentioned before, we only have to leave this one show. We only have to show this one. For the rest part, we can just hide them. So like a row surface, you can just hide them, turn off the preview. Move, you can turn off that. Line, you can turn off that. And all those things right here, basically you can turn off them. Okay? Just turn off them, but not enable them, disable them. So that's the things. You only have to leave the final custom preview. For the rest part, you can just turn off them, turn off the preview. And also, I want to ask you guys, that's probably ask for your advices, your comment. Which part is the core? If we are going to create a Boolean toggle or a switcher to turn on or turn off the whole script, which part we want to where is the position to put that switchers? This one for sure, this is a core engine, but sometimes probably I just want to turn on the repos, or sometimes I just want to turn on the RAM. So I want to create a switcher between these two. So where did you think where I should put the switchers? 同学，我问你们一下，如果我想要就是分别去控制上面的涟漪跟雨的话，你觉得我们应该要在哪边去放开关呢？Let me give you some option. This is the one. Okay. This is the one. And this is the two. Sorry. Alright. Anyway, this is the three. And probably also this is the four. This is the five. What do you think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can have multiple selections. 同学，你们觉得会是放在哪边比较好啊？就是如果我们要放开关的话，我们来选一下好不好？你们觉得要放在一的，可不可以举一下手？ If you think the one is the right answer, can you raise your hand? And how about 2 and 3? Okay, someone raise hand. Okay, yeah, the 2 and 3 is the right answer. It's very clear, right? I don't think we need to talk about this too. Basically, if you put the switcher right here, it's just about to disable or enable the rendering. So the rest of the part, they will still continue calculating. So still take your rendering and calculating resources. So for these two, that will be the core. For sure, they are the very beginning part, right? So we can put them right here. So this is the first one. This is the second one. This one is for controlling the repo. And this one is for controlling the RAM. Okay, so how can we put the switcher right here? The first one for sure we can use in Boolean tackles. We can use in Boolean tackle to do that. But in this time, we don't need to use that. You can just double click on the line, create a joint. Double click on the line, create a joint. So you can just enable or disable this one. Enable, disable, so that it can become a switcher to turn on or turn off the script. So if we enable this one, disable this one, even when we turn on the script, you can see that there's no result show up. But if we enable this one, then the RAM will start to move. If we enable the RAM, okay, so the RAM will start to move as well. So that's the thing. You can try to put this one on your script and have a better control of your entire script. So that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about the script. So don't forget to save. I will delete the old one. And for the Mac version, pretty much the same. The only difference is that you're using random component to replace the song. So that's the difference between right? Mac version and the PC version. So let's save the file. I think that's all for today. So, any questions so far？同学到目前为止，你们有没有什么问题的？就以这个案例来讲，What random this one? Basically, for the Mac version, you're just using random to replace the whole scenes, to replace the Firefly part. So nothing special. But for sure, in this case, you have to control the seed by yourself. You cannot use in the recording to do that. Hmm? Depend the- All all right, guys. If you don't have any other question, or if you have any other question, I will be here for a while. So for the rest of you, I think that's all for today. So for the next week, we will start a new chapter of this class. Basically, we are very close to the end of the class or end of the semester. So you can start to prepare for that. And also, I have already uploaded the requirement of our semester final on our teaching group. So take a look about that, okay? Uh, I think the semester final is very simple. Where is that? Okay, let's take a look. So this is the final requirement. Basically, you have to upload your file to the drive. I will open up this one on December 5. So that which means next Friday it will be opened up. So if you have already finished something, then you can start to upload. So the things you have to give me, it will be your model, grasshopper. Sorry, that's misspelling, and also the viewport to show your result. So like the screenshot of your rhino grasshopper, the screenshot of your video of your 3D model, and I think I missed one thing. There is a video, so you also have to give me a video recording, just like the things I showed to you before. All right, so that's our whole thing. So if you don't have any other questions, see you next week. 同学，如果没有其他问题，我们就可以下课了哦。